Alright, what's up, guys? So, Hot T, she has uploaded a video titled Nope, Gabbie Hanna is Not Okay. A sequel from her last video. Yeah, if you guys are like wanting to get caught up on the situation, I would highly recommend check out that video. And yeah, get caught up. But anyways, if you are caught up and you know what's going on, yeah, I think Gabbie Hanna, she's dealing with some stuff. And I don't know, like maybe she needs to talk to some friends or somebody, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, overall, like, yeah, get some advice from your friends, but it is a situation she is gonna have to solve on her own well-being. So anyways, and that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. Guys, if you haven't, make sure you go subscribe to my good friend Ray. This is her main channel, Hot Tea, and then subscribe to her personal channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. All good channels. Definitely recommend checking them out. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to be talking about part 2 of Gabbie Hanna's video and everything that's been going on with her in the past week. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, give it a watch so you're up to date with everything and then come back. Alright, so in this part we're going to be talking about Gabbie going off on a few more people including Trisha Paytas and what Gabbie has said about a docu-series on herself.
And I thought she was cool with Trisha Paytas. Like, wasn't they on the podcast together and they were like talking and just like squashing the, I guess, like the beef that they had, like, and she's still going at it.
Some questionable tweets she has posted recently. But before we get into it, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and turn on your post notifications, and please give this video a thumbs up. Alright, let's get into it.
I think I
So a
did that.
quick recap on the whole Gabbie situation. Last week, Gabbie was talking about how her poetry has been dragged on the internet. She then started to name people like Rachel Oates, calling her names and posting like 100 stories on Instagram. Rachel ended up blocking Gabbie, then her Instagram got temporarily removed due to massive spam reporting by Gabbie's fans. Meanwhile, some tea and commentary channels were expressing their thoughts on the situation on Twitter, one of which was Angelica Oles. Gabbie claimed she was finally defending herself against the people who bullied her for so long. She started going off on Angelica as well, calling her abusive, exploitative, and many other names. Angelica addressed everything on Twitter. It's still up there, but she also briefly talked about the situation in one of her recent videos. A lot of people have been concerned with Gabbie's mental state. After all of this, Gabbie moved on to a few other people, and now we're going to be talking about them. So after the Angelica fiasco, Gabbie talked about someone who texted her to apologize, in her words, for liking a tweet that was about her. She said that the person was probably scared to talk about this. She was like, I'm not going to put him on blast, I'm not going to name him, and then she continued to say that the person was talking really nice to her, saying, if you need to chat, my door is open. Then Gabbie said that she held him accountable for contributing to a hate train against her, and she says the person snapped on her and blocked her. Now, the person in question is Oscar Wilde, not the author, but he liked the following tweet from Nick Snyder saying, the fact that Gabbie Hanna still thinks drama like this will sell whatever she comes out with is proof she hasn't grown up with her audience. It's not a shadow ban, it's a everyone's moved on ban, except the stands, but honestly, just look up where Stan came from. And actually, Gabbie responded to that tweet saying, why did Oscar Wilde like this tweet? LMAO, congrats. His verified like finally got my attention for you, Nick. You have something to talk about now. Go run, make a video. And after Gabbie mentioned this on her stories, Oscar shared their DM saying, this girl has brought me into this for simply liking a tweet. Then when extending comfort and any type of empathy, she tells me to publicly apologize amongst an entire novel of my wrongdoings. She tells me to publicly apologize. I cannot. Trying to blast me for blocking her? What the f? And here's some texts between the two.
Yeah, she's definitely going through something. It's like, if I come out and apologize, just accept the, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't say that, like, just accept the apology. I feel like that, I forgot that it's like, like, that's, I just feel like that's some stuff, like, I grew up hearing and things, so I'm not trying to, like, mirror those people and stuff, but overall, I'm like, it's one of those things where if I do come out and apologize, like, instead, like, I just accept the apology. Like, I know I shouldn't say some things like that, but I'm like, fam, I could have went my whole life not apologizing and still carrying on with this crap, like, of, sending, like, whatever it is that she thinks is being sent to her. But it's like, if I come out and apologize and I'm just trying to, like, you know, squash the situation and move on, it's like, you gotta understand, it's like a stressful time. People ain't trying to deal with this. So you know, overall, like that tweet, I mean, it wasn't like the tweet was lying. Like, you know, you just doing this for like publicity and stunts and all that. And it's like, fam, you know, it's just, I think it's just a point in time in our lives where it's like, you know, we gotta like come together and just be cool with one another. You know, like, I know there's people that I haven't like squashed no beefs with them. So, but if they were to ever come to me and be like, hey, let's squash this, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm down. Like, you know, let's squash it. And then I'm just gonna move on. But I'm like, to still like carry on with some crap, it's, you know, it's just, it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, look, you know, you just gotta like let it go and stuff. So anyways, but like I said, Gabbie is dealing with some stuff, so she this most likely ain't gonna be. It's gonna probably be in a while from now where she comes out in a video saying that during this time she was dealing with some stuff and she wants to apologize to everybody that was affected and apologizing to the girl that criticized her poetry book and everybody else. But just give it time. It's like she thinks she's doing something here, but it's like you just stirring up stuff. Like, you doing good for you. I think that's the thing that like some content, because if I was in Gabbie Hanna's position where I got millions of followers, I'm like, okay, instead of doing like this and stuff, like my thing is like, I'm gonna give the crowd like something to talk about. I'm gonna do something different or do something where it's like, okay, like, you know, I'm gonna give y'all like a reason to like watch my videos. But it's like, it's stuff like this where it's like, okay, I could just like, you know, just read about this or watch another video on it and stuff, get a summary and be like, okay, like I don't need to watch like however many videos or however many stories that she's doing. But it's like, play a video game or write another poetry book or, you know, do a music video. My thing is, and maybe she can't do that right now. Maybe she just ain't got that creativity like bone in her right now. So she figures like, hey, I should just go out and do this. But I'm like, no, take a break if you need to. But it's like, it's stuff like this, or it's like, you don't need to do this. Like, do something like in a, like, just do something positive. All right. Overall, like, you know, do something positive and then things would be better for you. But anyways.
So remember how Gabbie said she wasn't going to put him on blast in her initial Instagram stories about him? Well, people took a closer look at the clips and you can see a little @ on her story with Oscar's Instagram handle. The fact that she said, I'm not gonna name that person, and then purposely tags him with this teeny tiny @ like, wow, that's so petty. Afterwards, she talked about him more on Instagram, but she never admitted that she lied in this situation.
I'm not gonna blast the person because he didn't do it publicly and he's clearly just like nervous.
It's like the DM thing. It kind of like, you know, it's kind of like pointing almost in the direction of where that guy's name is at. So
somebody liked a tweet in support of the people who have been exploiting and mentally abusing me, and I responded to it, and then he DM'd me and he was like, hey.
That's how you know she's like, you know, having a moment. This girl's driving and trying to like talk at the same time about whatever, you know, problems that she's dealing with. That's how you know a person's dealing with some stuff and they on the edge. Like, I think whoever is like near Gabbie, like right now, like y'all need to really be there for her. I mean, like, be there for her. Yes, she's an adult, but she is having a moment. Like, y'all need to be in that woman's house, like checking up on her and stuff and seeing if she's good. Like, but no, like making sure of it that she's good, because that ain't normal. I'm like, fam, you shouldn't be driving and then talking about some like YouTube drama at the same time. It's like, which is more important, your health on the road or some YouTube crap? Like, come on now. But
I don't want any problems. It seems like you're going through it. Just so you know, I'm here to chat. It's an open door if you're not okay. So then I responded and I held him accountable to his portion of it. And I was like, yeah, like, you contributed to an ongoing hate train. And then he snapped on me and blocked me. So he didn't actually want to be a listening ear. He actually wasn't offering support. It was performative because he's actually just scared that I'll hold him accountable to his own contribution to a toxic culture. And then what he said to me, this is gaslighting, is that I was, the reason that I get the treatment I get is because of the way that I responded to him. And the way I responded to him was like, yeah, he DM'd me because he felt bad. He should feel bad about what
you know what, Gabby's probably not gonna see this video. I'm like, and if she does, oh well. I'm like, I'm at a point in time in my life where I just don't really care no more. But she's being a legitimate like internet Karen right now. I'm saying there's like all these different things that you can do and talk on, and you know, just or be like a different content creator. It's like stuff like this. It's like if anybody's contributing to this stuff, it's you. Like, I'm sorry, but I gotta call it like I see it. You know, anybody's contributing to this stuff, it's you. So, but anyways,
he did, because he admitted to me that he actually didn't know anything that was going on, and he like kind of jumped ahead and supported something without really understanding. That's toxic and that's up. So I was like, yeah, that like sucked what you did. And then he was like, basically and blocked me. Like, I don't actually care. You just don't want me to blast you on social media, which I'm not going to, because I don't blast everyone. I blast people who publicly degrade me. That's the difference.
Next on Gabbie's hit list was a YouTuber named Dominic DeAngelis who commented on the situation. But Gabbie brought up a situation where
I was like, okay, it's like somebody else with that name. I'm like, fam, she's calling out The Weeknd. Like, I was like, bruh, nah, she needs to stop. And I'm like, there's so many people, bruh. That's why I probably have been like, okay. I'm like, knowing she ain't gonna see, I had to reach out to her and been like, The Weeknd, like, really, the man that just did Blinding Lights, Heartless, did this crazy Super Bowl halftime show and all these other like crazy things last year. You calling him out for what? But it's a person named Weekends. Okay, so it's like, you know, she caught me slipping a little bit on that app. But I'm like, fam, it's whoever this is. I'm like pretty sure it's like another person. It's like, fam, like they ain't did that to you. But anyways,
he passed her at a Smash or Pass video. Smash or Pass was a popular game a few years ago.
She's getting on that, like
Kill YouTubers edition. Here's the video in question.
The Gabbie show.
Hey.
Why would you pass on Gabbie? It's not my type, man. Shit. She's not my type either. She's not Asian. So.
Next up to bat is Dominic DeAngelis. He had to come at me on Twitter, said that I was the worst person he's ever met in LA. So let me tell you about the day I met him. So before I met him, he played a game of Smash or Pass publicly on YouTube. And when my picture came up, he
bam, like, I wasn't even in those videos. How do you think I feel? No, I'm just saying, like, that's just stuff that I can joke about. That's stuff that I can laugh about. And even if I was in one of those videos and somebody passed on me, I just crack jokes about it. I'm like, all right, they passed on me, so what? Like, I just don't think that's like, I just don't think that's something to like trip over, because I'm like, fam, there's probably so many other like YouTubers that did that, might have had Gabbie in it. And yeah, they probably Gabbie's name popped up and they was like, no, she ain't gonna be in the video. I ain't gonna give her the satisfaction of having her in the Smash or Pass conversation. So, oh man, that's wild. It's like, to get mad over some stuff like that. I'm like, fam, like, imagine being the person. It's like you see this compilation going on back and forth, and then you just kind of sitting there like, well, dang, like I ain't gonna end up in these videos. Like, y'all ain't gonna, like, I mean, can I at least get featured in a video? Like, if you pass me, okay, but I'm like, dang, can I at least get featured in a video? But it's something that's just like, I'm gonna crack jokes about it. It's like, I'm gonna be dead serious about it.
Humanized me and demeaned me, you know, like a misogynistic, disgusting piece of shit, acts as if he could have a chance with me anyway. So at a party, he approached me like nothing was wrong, and I confronted him about it, and I said I didn't like that, and he was like, oh, come on, it's just games. And I said, well, you're too short for me to how do you like being judged on your physical appearance? And then he stormed off and didn't like me anymore. You nasty piece of.
He only said that she wasn't his type and didn't comment on her appearance or anything.
Yeah.
He just said, not my type. Gabbie actually posted this on her Twitter about Dominic, saying, by the way, I'm seeing all your comments saying you don't know who Dom the Bomb is. This is the dude who publicly shamed me for my physical appearance because I wasn't fuckable enough. One person replies saying, as if he's in the slightest. Gabbie says he's literally not. That's what I told him when he approached me, and now he thinks I'm a terrible person for doing to him what he did to me. I'm supposed to be sad I don't fit in with these people, LMAO. Hey Dom, I didn't
Wow.
appreciate the misogynistic and hurtful comments about my personal appearance.
Wow.
I'm not fake like all of you, so when you try to speak to me at a party, I let you know how I feel. I know people like you aren't used to that, as if Dom could get at me. Dom tweets saying, Gabbie is top 3 worst human beings I've met in LA. I think that just needs to be said. Gabbie replies saying, you dehumanized me in a dirty game of public smash or pass, and then approached...
Like, one said it's not my type, and the other one was all like, she's not Asian. Like, what does that have to do with your appearance? Like, that's wild.
me in public, and I confronted you about it instead of protecting.
I know if she sees any of the things I didn't like, well, it's like not so much as like, I don't tweet about her, but I'm like, if she would have watched these videos that, like, you know, overall, like the last video that I reacted to of like saying like, oh, is Gabbie Hanna okay? Then this video, I know if she sees these videos and see what I say, I know she's gonna probably be, because I'm like, that girl got like something like this. If you've seen that movie Inside Out, them people in her head, they've had her on autopilot and they can't figure out, like, bruh, like, they're sitting there looking at the manual like, fam, how do I get her out of autopilot? Anger in the back, all like, look, I told y'all don't do this. That's on you guys. I'm not. Sadness is all like, we're gonna be stuck like this forever. Like, they're all panicking right now, and she's just going off, and so they're like, they're working their way up. They're working their way back into, like, you know, trying to. I think they're getting close, but yeah, right now it's in a situation where, yeah, they need to hurry it up, because this girl, she's gonna do or say something that's like, fam. Like, it's funny how it's like she's trying to like cancel these guys for whatever reasons, but it's like you're slowly canceling yourself.
It wasn't disgusting, and you got offended because I called you short and asked how it felt to be judged on your looks. Then you got mad at me. Dom replies saying, you just weren't my type. You were a bully then and now. You proved my point. You should take a break from social media. Gabbie says, this guy, for no reason, tweeted something negative about me while it was trending to do so, and I responded. There was also a video where she mocked his height at a party, and a few videos where she played Smash or Pass as well. Oh, and also, she commented on the appearance of women in a negative way. So, out of the Oscar and Dominic situation, people are calling out Gabbie on being a hypocrite and blaming others for something that she's also done, but like worse.
Okay, confronting Dom.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. You passed me.
I did.
So you mean to tell me that if tonight we got a little bit drunk and I was like, hey, I'm really interested in you. You think you're out of my league?
I don't say you're out of my league. No.
But you would pass.
Honestly, I'll do anything when I'm drunk.
Just when you're drunk.
No.
Is it the fact that I'm 3 inches taller than you? Is that the reason you're a little intimidated? Is that why you got fast? So I think we all know that it's all out of chance.
Bruh.
Dom would, right? Dom would.
It's like when you go to a party, you're doing it to, like, overall, like, be cool with people and, like, you know, chill and stuff. I guess, like, I don't know. If I were to, like, see a girl there and she was like, yeah, and if it was one of those, like, you know, if I was in a video she did where she passed me, I'm cracking jokes, I'm laughing, I probably would have, like, approached it just kind of like how, but I'm like, I'm not going to be, like, getting like angry or like talking on the girl. I just been acting funny about it. Like, that's just who I am though. I'm a, you know, a joker. I joke about stuff. So I definitely, yeah, it's like, you know, or if it would have like offended me or made me upset, then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna talk with that girl. I'm just gonna stay on this side of the party. And, you know, if she does initiate a conversation, I'm like, I ain't gonna be rude, like, oh, don't talk to me, you hurt my feelings because you passed me in a video or in a Smash or Pass video. So, like, there's other things to worry about in life. So, yeah, I think she just, you know, she's letting things get the best of her. And it's like, you need to sit down and relax.
I'm sure most of you have seen by now the Smash or Pass challenge. I think it is gross and strange and weird, and I think it's a very interesting.
Oh, well, that's the reason she doesn't. That's the reason why she tripped on it. It's like, I don't know, because I'm like, now I'm curious, like, what would she have said if the guy said that he would, like, you know, smash her things or, like, hooked up with her? Because I feel like she probably wouldn't have been, like, as upset. But then I'm like, I don't know, like, but that's the thing, she doesn't like those videos. So I'm like, whether the man would have said, like, he would have or wouldn't have, like, I feel like, you know, the reaction probably still would have been the same, but because she don't like these videos. So that's why she's tripping so much about it. She don't like these videos. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that explains the whole situation. I'm like, because it's like, if you don't care for the video, I feel like if you don't care for the videos, you ain't gonna care for what the person says. But if you care about like those videos and what the person says, and there's probably been more than just one time where like somebody said like, oh yeah, pass and stuff on Gabbie Hanna. And yes, it's like then whoever this guy is, probably like the biggest content creator out of them all, that said that he would have passed on her, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take my anger out on him. So I think that's how that situation went. But anyways, just my opinion on how the situation went. It could have went down a completely different way. But anyways,
And now it's YouTubers judging other YouTubers and saying whether or not they would them. So this is a challenge that I wasn't really into partaking in.
she didn't participate in those
I
videos.
don't even know.
Why?
That's so Raven.
Oh,
Raven. I thought she was like attractive.
Raven? So mom, no, she was not.
Moving on, this probably could be a video on its own due to so many clips and tweets and TikToks and other stuff. Gabbie
making sure
went
the audio
after
was
Trisha,
recording.
Who, by the way,
I should have checked to see if the audio was recording from the video before, but no, I decided I'm gonna wait till the last minute.
is going by they, them pronouns as of recent, which will also take a role in a few of the tweets. But anyway, let's unravel this one. So we all know that Trisha and Gabbie have had some beef behind them. I've covered it all on my channel. If you're not familiar, you can watch these videos for context. Gabbie and Trisha also made up, I guess, and squashed the beef earlier this year when they got together on Gabbie's podcast, sort of. So while Gabbie was going off on people, Trisha shared a few TikToks where they didn't name Gabbie, but it was obvious who it was about. Honestly, Trisha was pretty respectful, and for the first time, they're acting mature about the situation. Here's the clip.
If someone doesn't like or appreciate or get what you're doing, whether that be music, fashion, dancing, YouTube, TikToks, poetry, like podcast, whatever it is, if someone doesn't like it, like they're entitled not to like it. Like, why go so hard to try and convince someone that they're wrong for not liking something you do? And allowing people to get to you because they dislike something you do.
That's what I'm like. That's my thing is, it's like if people, because I've had it where people, they've gotten on me. I still got people till this day getting on me about how they don't like my videos. I'm like, all right, you don't like my videos. What can I do or say about that? I'm not going to convince you. It's like, I think, and that's why I think a lot of people, they get mad because I'm like, all right, well, so be it. Go watch videos that you do like. Why would you click on my video knowing you ain't gonna like it? That doesn't make any sense. And so I guess it initiates an argument, but I'm like, bro, I ain't here for all that. I'm still gonna do the videos I like doing at the end of the day. I'm like, and I think that's just people not having thick skin. It's like I just feel like that's like something that it's like that shouldn't play a factor when you're becoming a content creator. You gotta have thick skin as soon as you upload your first video or first TikTok or first Instagram post or tweet, whatever it is. You gotta have thick skin for that type of stuff. It's like you can't get into here and be like, oh, somebody, like one person says they don't like my videos, I'm gonna get all emotional and start crying. Who cares? Who cares? There's videos out there that you don't like. So it's like, imagine how that content creator feels when they hear that you don't like their videos. They don't care. So it's like, move on. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Is ultimately a disservice to yourself, robbing you of your creative capabilities. This goes for everyone. Be proud of what you put out, and who cares about the rest?
And then Trisha commented an emoji on a TikTok that bashed her, saying they're not talented. Gabbie then went off of that of an emoji. She said, Trisha is upset because I called her untalented. Gabbie also called Trisha a fake, hypocritical, as well as a liar and obsessed with her. She just said she's gaslighting, manipulative, and just so much. Those are just a few.
Trisha Paytas is upset that I called her untalented, even though she's allowed to have an opinion about me. She says everyone can have an opinion. She has an opinion about my music. But what's this? You're making fun of me online, you hypocritical fake.
After this simmered down a bit, Trisha shared the voice memos Gabbie sent them. They tried to keep it civil, asked Gabbie publicly to leave them alone. Trisha also posted 2 videos, one with the voice memos. The second one was debunking some of Gabbie's statements, as well as a plea to be left alone due to all the stress Gabbie has put on Trisha. And a lot of people agreed with Trisha. Many were praising them for being so calm, not lashing out on Gabbie.
One question I have for Trisha is, she's posting all of these super manipulative, fake as posts about, I just want her to be well. I thought we were good after the podcast, even though she continued to talk about me. If you really want me to be well and you're so concerned about my mental health, why don't you shut the about me? You literally can't keep me out of your mouth because you're obsessed with me. You think about me all the time. You admitted to watching all of my content obsessively. Just leave me alone. Move on. Let me go. Drop me. So then somebody commented on my TikTok.
I'm like, I just slowly closed the window. If I worked at a Wendy's and she just pulled up at a drive-thru and just started going off about Trisha Paytas, I just been like, all right, so I don't know like what's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna slowly close this window, get in a position to duck because she might have a weapon and might try to use it on me. So I'm gonna just get in a ducking position or just like get prepared to duck as fast as I possibly can. But I'm like, yeah, I've been like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, do you still want the number 3 with a large root beer? Because I'm like, you know, we're almost we're gonna have to replace the root beer, so it's gonna take a little bit longer, and then we have to wait through it. Run. Trust me, I know my restaurants, I know my way around restaurants, but I'm like, it's confusing. It's like we all. My thing is, it's like when you hear or see that Trisha Paytas is like talking about you, I feel like that's like, okay, you know, whatever. It's like she's talking about me. Like it's something you shouldn't take serious. So yeah, I think she is taking this a little bit too serious.
That I was trying to be Trisha Paytas, and I said I'm Trisha Paytas if she was talented and happy. And then that sent her into a tailspin, despite the fact that she's been mocking me, saying that my music career is going nowhere, that I'm the worst songwriter of all time, even though she said I don't write my own songs, that my music is too specific to me and nobody can relate to it, and I'm 30. I'll never get a deal. Do you remember that one?
People are saying Gabbie is jealous of Trisha for the recent redemption, since Trisha seems to be more liked as of recent, with frenemies and speaking out on topics like David and James. Trisha also said Gabbie can post the full broadcast. They had nothing to hide or asked Gabbie to edit stuff out, since Gabbie kept on saying they're not going to keep Trisha's secret anymore. Through this whole thing, Gabbie has tried to prove that Trisha was lying about them not being friends. If you remember, part of their beef was that Trisha never liked Gabbie or was close to her for Gabbie to be saying things that she said. And after that podcast earlier this year, Trisha made a few videos explaining the beef is squashed, but they still don't want to be friends with Gabbie. And she also explained Gabbie was trying to convince them that certain things happened and that really triggered Trisha due to her mental health. Trisha claimed that they asked for proof because they didn't remember those things happening, and the whole encounter just messed with her mind, since Trisha has shared that they have issues with reality sometimes. And here's some of the tweets.
Oh, and I also wanted to quickly say the things that I was wrong about, because since I couldn't sleep last night, this was all I was thinking about. I just was kind of checking for myself. Something I was wrong about was, like, we definitely did not have Thanksgiving plans. Like, I went back and looked at that, and I definitely inflated that in my head, where it was more just like, I think you were spending Thanksgiving with Sean's family, and I said none of my friends were in town. You're like, oh my god, I wish I knew. I would have just, like, stayed home and we could have eaten together. And, like, that's what you said to adults, and at the end of the day, that's
I'm like,
And here is some of what
it's
Gabbie
crazy.
said. There were too many tweets. If I've missed some, I'm sorry. Everything is up on her Twitter so far. She also posted some text receipts.
It's like she's going at it with everybody. It had been at that point where I just unfollowed Gabbie Hanna. I don't think I am following her,
So
but yeah.
Gabbie shared what she
Definitely
was
unfollowed her
She's
after all
working on
that.
a docu-series on herself, possibly Shane Dawson style, who knows. She's posted a few tweets like, it's time to tell some stories, a photo with 5 phones saying she has all the receipts. We know that Gabbie has stirred the pot a few times when she has a new project. Is that why she's been off on so many people lately? She claims that she's finally standing up for herself, though people have debunked half of her statements. And also, a few days ago, Gabbie also went on live stream on Instagram where she talked why she did everything. She basically said she wanted to be trending on Twitter, but she didn't do it for attention. Alright, sure, Jam. Gabbie also said that she doesn't care about what
understand. So it's like, you did this so you can trend on Twitter, but you didn't want, yeah, somebody gonna have to. I'm a little bit slow, and I barely like graduated from high school. I didn't even bother to like think about. Or I did think about college. I just thought about a couple of colleges, and then after that, I was like, I just got like, then I got into YouTube. So somebody's gonna have to explain this to me in a slow manner that I understand. What is she talking about? Like, what are you saying, man? I just, yeah, I'm in a confusion right now.
Had to say to her about her response towards people. People are asking Gabbie to get off of social media and seek help, also asking why aren't her close friends and boyfriend not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Her fans have attacked a lot of the people she went after, false reporting accounts, and Gabbie shared on Patreon that she feels sorry and embarrassed for the past week and of her actions. On her Patreon, she said, "I'm having a hard time. Usually when I finish a video, I never look back. Having to re-watch to re-edit is unbearable. I'm having a lot of second thoughts and wish I didn't announce it. Honestly, I'm feeling really down and embarrassed." T-Spill replies saying she should be embarrassed. She's a 30-year-old adult that needs to control her actions online. Plus distracted driving because her rant couldn't wait 2 seconds. I hope she gets offline and actually gets help. And
that's what I was saying. I'm like, why is she driving and
if there's anything
trying
else
to argue about
cover,
this
let
stuff?
Me know. Also, are you going to be watching Gabbie's docuseries? Do you think she has rightfully defended herself?
I'm
or
like,
did she just...
if I'm like Ray, if you like do like some summary stuff on it, then like I'll watch it on your channel, but I don't see myself sitting down and watching it. So unless you report on it and then you're like talking on it in the video, then I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll like that's how I'll watch it. But anyways,
go way overboard. I don't know. Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I post new videos every single week. All right, bye.
Yeah, I'm like she's dealing with some stuff. I know that for sure, but. Yeah, I'm like, oh, that is just crazy. I'm like, dang. I'm like, you dealing with something. But yeah, I hope she does seek out some help from either like a therapist or some friends, family, whoever. You know, like somebody that can, you know, like talk with her and be like, hey, it's like, is you good? Like, is everything all right? No? All right, well then let's sit down and talk about it. But anyways, interesting video, Ray. Make sure you, but yeah, guys, if you haven't, make sure you go subscribe to Ray's channel, Hot Tea, then her personal channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.